Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining us as always. Make sure you're hitting that like, comment, and subscribe button. And most importantly, hit that notification button so you guys get notified when we drop hits like this. This week, Joel and I are breaking down the Marlins fire sales that they made a bunch of moves towards the MLB trade deadline, and we're previewing the OnlyFans season along with the Dolphins schedule. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go. And we're back, Joel, via StreamYard. What's going on, my brother? Nice shirt. I like it.
You too. I
Thanks.
like yours.
This one's kind of an original, you know.
You can say we're in a football mood, maybe.
Absolutely, big time. Especially you wearing that Hurricanes shirt, right? They officially kicked off practice this week. Shout out to Andy Borregales, he's the homie. We're gonna have him on pretty soon. But yeah, practice means that football is back because they're only a couple of ways from heading up to Gainesville and taking on the Florida Gators in their in their season opener. Let me correct that. I think it's just a big season for Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes, right? They made some interesting moves, right, in the portal. They got Cam Ward, the quarterback. They got Martinez, the running back. So you make a lot of moves with kids that are proven, right? Young athletes who are itching for a chance at the big time, right? Coming from wherever they were. One of them from Oregon, and I don't know where Cam Ward came from. I think it was a Big 12 school or something like that. I should know that, but whatever. Both of those guys are coming here with a chance to make an impact, right, and get on the national stage and really get the playing time that they're looking for. So hopefully they can turn it into something this year that we can continue to talk about because I love going to Canes games.
Yeah, Washington State, I believe, is where he came from.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, I think this season is a boom or bust type season for Mario Cristobal. Personally, I know a lot of people don't agree with that statement, based on the fact that his history with the Hurricanes and his kind of leash that they've been giving him, to kind of do his thing and develop his players. He came in and he was still under the Manny Diaz former, players that were still remaining and all that. So he's still figuring his squad out. But it's a big season for these guys. If NCAA 25 is any indication of the Hurricanes, they got a squad because Martinez is a beast in that game, homie. Let me tell you right now. So is Cam.
Yeah, and he's been killing it, and everybody's seen it, right, in the practices and scrimmages and stuff like that they've had. But it's one thing to do it in practice, and it's another thing to do it in real game time when it matters, right? And the Hurricanes are in desperate need of having like those game changer type players, right? And I think that's the reason why they went after Cam Ward and why they went after Martinez, right? Because there's plenty of talent on the squad, but you need those game changers, right? And we're looking for that as game changer to kind of just get the spark going because we know we have plenty of guys who could potentially be game changers, but they may not be that right now. The defense is still looking good. A lot of those kids are progressing in their ability to play defense, right? And they have that one thing going for them that this Hurricane program has lacked in big amounts, and that's consistency. Same coordinators, both on offense and defense. The playbook is the same as it was from day one as it is today. So a lot of things are the base packages and all that good stuff that gets you real far into the season. That stuff hasn't changed, and that's a real advantage for these guys to kind of be on that status quo, same mindset, same page, and then just add those wrinkles based on the type of players that you have. So I'm interested to see what this Hurricane season looks like. They're slated to win 10 games. I'm here for it.
So speaking of which, you mentioned the Gators already, that opener for the season, and there's a lot of other big time games for the Hurricanes on that schedule. What's another game that you're looking forward to besides that Gators game?
Obviously, I'm looking forward to that FSU game, right? Because we're going to be on the road this year. I think that if you're looking for big wins, you're looking for wins against the perennial quote unquote powerhouses of the ACC, right? Which have been FSU, has been Clemson, all those guys, right? So you need to go out there and really kind of prove it to the rest of the nation, right? That you belong in the same category as those guys, and you do that by beating them. Good thing is that we don't play Clemson this year, but like I said, we're home against FSU. That's a big win that we got to take. We're gonna be on the road at Georgia Tech. That's gonna be another big game. And we're gonna have a West Coast trip this year where we head over to Cal. And traditionally, when the Hurricanes go out west, it hasn't been that great for us. So there's a lot of games that are going to be big games. That Virginia Tech game at home, you have a lot of games that are going to be to your advantage, but you have to go out there and take care of business. And I think that if we're looking for the next step, right, for the crystal ball era, is for them to take care of business, right, and win a big game or two, and go out there and put a performance where you're not stumbling across the line, right. We all saw that happen last year, right, where we fumbled that win away, literally. I don't think that we're gonna ever see that again from the crystal ball era, and I think that those are the games that you look back on and be like, that shit was a turning point in our season, because it opened the door to a lot of other things that were negative. That's what we're looking for here. Because if they continue to do the good things good, right, then they'll definitely be able to reach those 10-win games and hopefully get a signature win or two this year, based on the rankings. Because, like I said, that FSU game is going to be tough, whether it's on the road or at home. Doesn't matter. You're playing FSU. Playing Georgia Tech is always a challenge for us. Louisville, it's been a challenge for us recently, and even Duke. We've seen the emergence of their football program, and they've been something for us to handle. So we got to go out there and really take care of business against these other teams in the ACC, right? Go out there and win some ACC games, and really go at least with just one loss in the ACC, and make it really, really respectable season,
Yep. I wanna make sure I wear the shirt a lot this season, dog. They
Yeah,
gotta go
bro.
out there and they gotta prove it. You know what I
Do
mean?
a little
So
tailgating out there for a good Canes game. Why not, man? Vic
that's
is
what's
the plug,
solid.
and he'll get us a good parking ticket for sure.
Hell yeah. You know
um,
we plugged up.
yeah, big time with them Hurricanes.
You know
Shout out
who's also plugged up?
the Marlins and the rest of the
Not the
MLB network.
Marlins. The rest
No,
of the
they are
MLB is plugged up. You know what I mean? Because they know how to get the best talent from the Marlins, dog. We're
easily.
America's farm team, dog.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great way to put it. And the proof is in the pudding, right, as the Americans say. But if we're being honest, like, we've seen this story so many times that it's not even an emotion anymore, right? It's just a he ho any regular day here as a Marlins fan, which fucking completely sucks if we're being honest, because you know, do you expect to keep the team together? No, right? Maybe you make the trades that you got to make, right? Where something's too good of a deal to pass up, like the Tanner Scott deal. We got an amazing return in Hall for that guy, fucking amazing, right? And we knew that we weren't going to be able to put his best abilities on the field because we weren't going to be in a playoff hunt. We weren't going to be in the playoff spirit, and we got to do right by him and kind of help him move along and try to chase the championship, and also help ourselves out with loading ourselves up with future talent, right? But for you to go out there and trade Jazz,
For
that's
nothing.
kind of like,
For nothing.
no, you got a number two prospect from the
Bullshit. We got
Yankees,
nothing.
but in reality, we get nothing because we know that kid's not necessarily gonna stay here, right? He's not gonna be a Marlin for long. He might not ever even put on a uniform for the Marlins if he does really well, right? Because he'll just raise his stock even more, and we'll use him as a bargaining chip to get something else. And that's the part that kills us, right? Because even though you're getting a good return, right, like I said, we got an excellent return. Every baseball outlet that has a media source to it gave us a good grade for the trade deadline. All A's, all A's, all A's, right? Because of the amount of talent that we got back. That's not the issue. We always find a way to find talent. That's not the Marlins problem. The Marlins problem is keeping that talent and
Yeah.
putting that talent together in order to create some type of winning atmosphere here in Miami, which has been sorely, sorely, sorely lacking.
You posted it, dog. You reposted it from somebody else. Our salary cap is like $14.5 million. The
Judge
Yankees
makes more
are
than that.
$250 million organization. Okay,
Yeah,
that's where Jazz went to. You know what Jazz did in his first two games?
crushed it.
I'm pretty sure he put up 4 home runs.
Yep, first Yankee to do that. And
Okay, that
again,
kid's a
that's
superstar, bro. We've seen it. We
superstar.
knew it. So, you know what I mean? We saw when this, bro, we were covering this 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we first saw him competing for his position. And we were like, bro, he's got some, some star power like to him. Not only can he play, but he has something to him. Sure enough, he does his thing. He becomes an all-star for us. Then he gets a little hurt. We start holding him back. He doesn't really have a team around him to be able to do what he can. Now you put him in the Yankees, bro.
Yeah,
Well, put
and I
your
think
money on
that's
the Yanks right now, dog.
Yeah, for sure, right? And look, even it's disappointing because even in the second half of the season, right, we've been better than not, right? We had a good little run. We've won series. We've tied a series. We won that series against Baltimore. We won another series against Milwaukee. You know, so far we split the series today with Tampa Bay. So they're finding their ways, right? But to my point is this, or my point is this: by trading Jazz, you trade away a magnet, right? Because he's a magnet to the stadium, to the fan base, to eyes around the nation, right? And he's a magnet because he's such an exciting baseball player. He's such a good baseball player, amazing baseball player. So that just brings positive eyes on your franchise and makes it even more respectable to say, you know what, we're sticking with our guns. This kid's gonna be a superstar, and we want him to be a superstar as a Marlin, right? Because you and again, like, it's hard to quantify this, but the impact that that guy has had on this Marlins franchise is much bigger than what the trade was worth, to be honest,
No,
right?
you know what? You know what it tells me, bro. You know what it tells baseball players, young baseball players. If you go to the Miami Marlins,
You're out of there.
that is your stepping stone. Do well
Yeah,
there. That's like another minor league, essentially. That's like the minor of the majors already. You know what I mean? When you go to the Marlins, just do your bid, do your time. All right, play well, and you're going to get a much better team that comes and asks for you. And we'll just give the Marlins a couple prospects that, guess what? The Marlins will then develop once again to then trade away instead of utilize as a full team. I mean, we bring in pieces, to try to help guys like Jazz, and, a guy like Josh Bell, and then boom, gone at the trade deadline. I mean, Jazz is gone. Might as well get rid of him too. What chance do we have this season? I mean, dog, if that trade deadline move, all those moves didn't tell you that we just threw in the towel for the rest of the season, dog, I don't know what else to tell you at this point.
and it's sad because they weren't even competing in the first half, right? And then they finally start to put some type of rhythm going towards the break and all this shit, and then boom, you get the litany of moves, right? And what bothers me the most is that, again, we traded away the magnet, and I mean the magnet because he attracts other players. If you want to get players to come play for your organization without even being able to pay them full value, you need a guy like Jazz to be like, hey, bro, come out here for a season or two, dog. Enjoy Miami. We'll be out here. I'll hook you up with a crib. Let's play some ball and let's try to get some games here and make a playoff run.
They don't get
Right,
paid like that, dog.
bro? We Jazz wasn't even getting crazy paid. You get what I'm saying? So, like, forget
Yeah,
about
but
the
I'm saying,
money
like,
for a
he
second.
can't even attract big name talent to come because we're not even paying people like that.
Yeah, no, we
That's
have
my
gotten
point.
players. Like De La Cruz was a big player. He didn't get signed anywhere else, and we got him. Bell, you mentioned, we were able to afford his contract and make a good trade to get him. There have been moves that the Marlins have made, right, with guys that are definitely, higher value than what the Marlins pay for him, and it ended up working out in our favor. But we don't keep those guys, and that's to your point, right? Where those guys aren't able to stick around long enough to have a lasting impact, and it's sad because it's the same old Marlins move, right? And it really falls on Bruce Sherman, bro, because when you are, right, the least wealthiest owner in sports, dude, that is a problem because this is a rich man's game. Unfortunately, baseball is built for multi-billionaires, guys who can throw money like nothing and try to make their teams as competitive as possible. Because even if you're
So it's this
the,
guy's
the
fault
fact
that
that
he's
bro, it is
that
his
he's
fault for
but
for
it's his
trying to
fault that
buy a
he's
baseball
rich
team.
but not that rich, not rich enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're not rich enough to own a baseball team, dog. You're just not, dog. You're just not, and that's not me dissing that guy. It really isn't. You know what I mean? But you're a small fish in a big pond. You're a small fish in a big
But
pond,
so
and
do you not think that that might be by design? I'm sorry to put my tinfoil hat on, but do you not think that maybe, you know what, the major, MLB doesn't want the Marlins to have an owner like that? You know what I
then
mean?
take
They
away the
want
team.
somebody that can't put money and dump money into it.
Take away the team, dog. Put that shit in Las Vegas. Fuck it. Give that land back to the fucking Hurricanes. Why not? Why not? Take the team out of here. If that's the case, take the team out of here.
Do you think that's
Because
a
because
possibility
here's
down the
here's the
road?
thing. Absolutely, it has to be a realistic possibility because here's
That'd
the
be
thing, right?
wild.
It's not like they're making close to enough to justify even turning on the lights in the stadium.
Yeah,
Let's
but
be
there are other
honest.
teams like the Yankees and shit that do make enough.
Yeah,
The
no, no,
major
no,
the MLB
no, no, no.
isn't it a part of like a network as far as their
Yeah,
money
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff?
They get money. They get a share of the contract and all that stuff, right? And he gets to profit that. But he still has to pay rent on the land. He still has to pay taxes. He still
No,
has to
but
pay the light.
I think
You get what I'm
Miami
saying?
is the
Like,
one putting the bill for the stadium too. I think that guy because Laurie has screwed us over. I think that
no,
guy's in a
listen,
pretty sweet position, bro.
no, bro, he's paying enough. Again, to be a broke guy in a rich man's game, you're paying, right? Because again, this team is not profitable. This team is not profitable. It's
It's
not.
not.
If if
It's
if,
really
if
not.
you're just banking on the cut of the ownership, right, that you're getting from MLB and the TV rights, then again, you're a broke man playing a rich man's game, right? And
Facts.
that's just the pure facts of this. And that's why I said it falls on him because he didn't have to put himself in that position. He could have easily bought out and said, you know what, Moss Brothers, you guys have it. Go spend the money like you guys want to. I'm gonna hold on to my money and make more money somewhere else. But you wanted to be an owner without knowing the commitment that it took. And now that you're in too deep, you have to swim in that lake, right? And I think that Bruce Sherman is finding that shit out the hard way. You can make moves, and that's fine, but you're never gonna fill up that stadium on a consistent basis in order to make money off of it, and you're never gonna make enough money off of visiting fans also to make up money for that. So he's gonna have to figure that shit out, and I'm sure that he'll sell the team in 5 years or 6 years or something like that
That
to
would be
another
some
broke
wild
owner.
shit. That's the first time that I've
We've
heard
seen it
that
done
idea.
here.
No, but I'm saying that's
But
the
we
first time I've heard that idea that if the Marlins, which they're not profitable, if they just relocated the team, send them somewhere else, and that land becomes available again, Hurricanes got a home stadium again, dog. It ain't the Orange
yeah,
Bowl, but
yeah.
it's where the Orange Bowl was at. Like I don't
And
know
look,
how that would work.
they wouldn't
That'd be
even have
dope.
to knock
That'd be
down.
dope.
They wouldn't even have to knock down that bitch. They wouldn't have to knock down that whole
It's big
thing. They
enough
could
to
just
fit a football
it's
field in
big
it.
enough to yeah, but they would just have to repurpose the inside structure, right? They would have to
Yeah,
repurpose that,
you're
figure
right.
that figure that stuff out, and then
Damn, but
again,
with
it
a
would be
retractable stadium, dog,
come on,
that should
baby,
be
come on,
lit.
baby,
Nah, those one
come on.
o'clock games though, it's gonna be right over the stadium. Though, that should be killer. Nah, they gotta have that shit
They'll
enclosed.
close it. They'll close
Yeah,
it.
but
Or if it
you
opens and
know,
the sun is on the visitor sideline, then go ahead, open that thing up.
yeah, like the Dolphins, dog.
You know what I'm
Love that.
saying? Open that thing up, dog. Yeah,
That'd be
man.
wild. That'd be wild.
But
Something. Hey, you heard it here first on Sports with SoSo. All right, if that
we
happens,
break
SoSo
news.
called that.
We make news, all right. We don't
I'm
break news. We
clipping it.
make the news. You heard me? Yeah, man. Let's see what happens. Not really too much to pay
Yeah,
attention there
it's
with the
kind of a
Marlins.
somber
Yep,
discussion around the Marlins, man. But
it's a great
uh,
haul. It's a great haul they got for real. A great haul.
we'll
Too
see,
bad we're
dog.
not gonna see it here.
I'm not too impressed, honestly. I'm not too
No, no,
impressed.
Joel, trust me, it was an amazing haul. Go look up those names. As a matter of fact, I'll post you the link.
I won't.
But
I'm not gonna waste my time.
don't because
You know
those
why?
kids
So
will never
you know why I'm
play
not
for
gonna
the
waste my
Marlins.
time because they're an amazing haul, and they're gonna do amazing things. They're gonna be developed to become amazing players, and then they're gonna go win fucking Cy Young awards for other teams and
Yep,
World Series rings with other teams, bro. And that's
yep.
why I can't. From right now, I just can't. I don't even have it in me to do that and support the Marlins right now.
No, sir. No, no, no. I'm done with those guys. I'm done
Yeah,
for now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We'll keep an eye out, I guess.
yeah. What else we
Let's
got?
go. We got the Dolphins, baby. Football is back. Hall of Fame game is going down tonight.
Yeah, we're watching it right
Let's
now on the side.
go. Yeah, I
It's a
got it
pretty
on
good
the
game, pretty decent game. You got the
right.
what is it, the Bears
I
and
mean, it's trash in the Texans. It's trash, but
Bears and
fuck
the
it. It's
Texans.
football. I'll take it. It's professional football. I'll take it.
Yeah, so somebody was asking about on this one before we get into the Dolphins, why wasn't Caleb Williams playing? And I was like, man, it's preseason number one, especially like preseason game number one. And he was like,
Throw
bro, but
that
that's
guy
the
out
number
there.
one overall pick. Like, how is that guy not playing? Which I can see his argument, but at the same time, it's like, bro, that's the number one overall pick. Do you want him getting hurt in the preseason game?
It's never
How do you
worth it
feel
with
about
the
that?
guys. It's never worth it with the guys that are not going to see the field that often, right? A lot of those guys are playing 5 snaps, if they're starters, you know what I mean. And the rest of the playing time is for those guys who are just trying to make the team. So
Yeah,
there's no way you're throwing your investment because call him
right,
what you will, but he's an investment. There's no way
right.
you're just throwing your investment out there to the wolves on the first day of football
That's
just
right.
because it's a fucking national game. No chance, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're a terrible GM and you're a terrible coach and that's the way you roll. But I wouldn't have bet on that kid even seeing the field. I'm surprised he even had pads on, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Somebody should have told the rookie, like, rookie, sit your ass down. You know you ain't playing tonight. Take those pads off, stupid. You know? Yeah.
Speaking of pads, though, did you see Chop Robinson picking up all the players' pads
Yeah,
today,
get
getting
get to
hazed like a
work.
rookie?
Get to work. Get to work. You know, we expect a lot of things from you, young man. So get to work, earn your stripes. The quicker you do it, the more productive member of this team you'll be, right? And
I'm
he's gonna be
excited
an
to see
important
that kid
piece.
play, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The he looks great, right? He looks great, very athletic. Everything that they said about him in the draft is true. He's
Yeah.
athletic, a ton of explosiveness, very quick, very speedy. But he's just raw, right? He's raw, and he's gonna need some work and some development. But you know what? I think that him being thrown to the wolves, right, is actually a good thing, right? Because having him play against first team players or guys who are trying to make the second team or whatever kind of just gives him those reps that he's going to need, right? He's going to need those reps in order to be an important team because although we're dealing with injuries, him, Agba, those guys are going to be guys that we rely on, right? And especially at the beginning of the season in that position. But I feel good about him. I feel good about his development. I think that the staff is doing a good job of keeping him, in the right mind frame, right? And even in the positions of where he's playing and lining up. They're not asking him to do too much. They're keeping it kind of basic, kind of simple for him, which is probably the easiest thing you can do for him right now, right? Make it so easy where he understands what he's doing, and is able to execute it over and over and over and over and over. One guy we got to talk about because we haven't talked about him since he got that paycheck is our boy Tua. Um, th-
Sheesh.
there was a lot of people who were just wondering why it took so long, right? You and I being amongst them. But I think what really stood out to me, right, is that the team was willing to drag its feet out on this contract, on this extension. I would have thought that they would have wanted it to get it done sooner, definitely before the rest of these QBs got paid, right? But I think that he definitely deserves it, and without that guy here, I think our chances of winning, period, in a football game goes down drastically. Goes down drastically because nor not only are we not prepared immediately, we're not prepared for the future without Tua. So it made the most sense to me to sign this guy to an extension. Just happy it got done.
I mean, you got to look at what the alternative is. You know what I mean? Like, we don't pay him, and then he just signs with another team this offseason, and we don't get anything back
Yeah,
for him. Or we delay the time more, and like for instance, Jordan Love got paid right after Tua
yeah,
and became the highest paid QB, all of a sudden. So it's like the more time would have gone by. To your point, he could have asked for more money, or his agents could have asked for more money. I know the people out there, there's a lot of people that still don't believe in Tua. They still don't think he's our guy. I've been hearing a lot of. I was just on vacation, and even in close circles of our friends, there's still people that don't believe in him, don't think he can throw deep ball, like all that stuff, bro. And it's like, all right, relax. We definitely know he has what it takes to play quarterback. Now, can he be a playoff winning quarterback? That's
right,
really what brought me back down on the Tua hype train that I've been on. I've been strong on it for the first 3-4 years of his career. He's done great things for us, but obviously the disappointment of losing in the fashion that we did in the first round last year, it makes you question whether or not he's the guy. And when you think about everything as a whole, not just that one particular game in that instance against what would be the eventual Super Bowl champions,
right.
you got to realize that he's been very special. Maybe he's
Extremely.
not Dan Marino, but damn it, he's the best thing we've had since Dan Marino. Let's be honest. The things he's been
Absolutely.
able to do, the performances he's been able to put on. I mean, a couple years ago, everybody's talking about this guy should retire after 2 bad concussions. And then last year, doesn't get hurt, doesn't lose any time. Nobody brings that up. Nobody talks about how resilient he was able to, make those adjustments in the offseason on how to fall, how to take hits properly and protect yourself and make that progress. You know what I mean? And so I think that this is a big, thing for Tua for confidence. It's going to be a confidence boost moving in, knowing that the Dolphins have his back, knowing that he's here for the next few years with this
Right.
core group of guys that they've also invested money in, and it's go time. You know what I mean? And what else do you need now? You got paid, you got the team around you. Let's go win.
Yeah, yeah, and I think if we're being honest, right? If we're being honest, I think Tua is just one big win away from shutting up all the haters, right? Whether it's a game that we need to win in the division, right? A game we need to win on the road to lock up, the number 4 seed or something like that, or even a playoff game,
Beating
right?
the Bills on the road.
No, no, forget about that. It has to be something bigger than regular season, right? It has to mean something. It has to be a big victory in quote unquote the fans' eyes because everything else he's already checked off the list, right? numbers, being a positive role model, being a positive influence on the team, having the guys back, people having his back, check, check, check. The coach believing in him, the GM, check, check, check. Everything has he's checked off. The only big thing that's missing right now, in order for him to justify everything else, is the big win. And once he gets that big win, then everybody will kind of come to the realization of, all right, this guy's not. He may not be the reason that we win a ton of games, right? But he's definitely going to be the reason why we don't lose a ton of games and while we're in certain games, right? And I think that's a big credit nowadays. Not everybody has a Patrick Mahomes. Not everybody has, what's the kid from CJ Stroud? Like it doesn't happen like that, right? There's very few good quarterbacks or one of one quarterbacks. Tua doesn't have to be that in order to be a winner. Well, he's already proven that. But he has to get to that next level. And in order for him to get to that next level, in my opinion, it has to be a playoff win. It has to be a division win. It has to be something of that level,
Yeah.
right? Where the stakes are on the line and he comes through and says, you know what, everybody, here's a game winning drive. Week 17, everybody shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let's take this victory and go home.
For me, it's one step above that. I agree with you, but I think it's playoff. I think that's where he gets everybody going. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
guys that don't believe in him, that don't think he's the guy. He goes out on the road, let's say, and wins a playoff game. Hell yeah! Now, like you can't even. Let's go now. Tua has that. The Dolphins have their first playoff win in over 20 years. You can't say shit. He's worth the 50 mil. That one playoff game is worth the 50 mil for that year. Let's be honest.
absolutely.
I've
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for this for how long? We've been waiting for this for how long? But
For a minute.
it's interesting. You mentioned Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's the guy right now. But I saw something interesting. So I saw a graph that last year kind of broke down the pass yards for passers in the NFL, and it broke it
Mhm.
down between the in the air yards and the yards after the catch. And Patrick Mahomes sat by himself in this one particular quadrant where most of his yardage was gained after the catch.
Yep.
And our boy Tua was the most even. He was not only leading the rest of the NFL in the air, but he was also completely balanced on the yards after the catch. So, like the claims that he's not a good quarterback, like it's like you're not watching the same game. Let's just be real,
No,
because
you're
the
just a
number, like
hater, and that's
the
okay.
numbers just don't lie, bro. The numbers don't lie. You look at his attempts, you look at his completions, you look at his percentages. Like the guy's an accurate passer.
Yep.
Now it's a matter of, does he have that clutch gene? Can he go into hostile territory, for a division clinching game or a playoff clinching game, to your point, or can he just win a playoff game at home? You know what I mean? Does
Right.
he have it in him to be that guy? And that's
Yeah, and I
that's
think
that's what we're gonna find out this year.
I think so too, and I think it'll go a long way to, like I said, like we both said, to proving the haters wrong, right, and getting everybody to shut up and get off his back. But in order for him to do that, he's gonna need his guys to be fully healthy. Last year, towards the end of the season, we saw Hill get banged up. That was no good. Moster was banged up. Chan was banged up. Waddle was banged up. Like the defense was banged up. We need these guys to be healthy because the
It's a long
healthier this
season.
team is, it's a long season, right? But the healthier these guys are at the end of the season, then that just gives Tua a better chances to win, right? Yeah, he's the quarterback, and even if he's healthy and plays well, he still needs everybody else to come out there and perform. Because it is a team game if you've never watched football before. But I think that Tua's in a good position, right? That he feels like, all right, people want me to earn this. People want, and he knows what's at stake. He knows what's on the line. He knows what he has to do. He has to go out there and win, right? And the moment he does that, he's gonna be able to shut. He doesn't even have to shut up anybody. He's just gonna allow it to do it himself because he's that good of a player, that good of a guy. So I was kind of happy
Yeah.
to see him get his money, and like I said, it could have been much more money the longer we waited. And I don't like having that energy going into camp. The day that guy signed his contract, that it got announced, and he goes out onto the field for practice, has a career day. Threw 280-yard bombs, didn't have like an incomplete pass for like the first 2 hours, like balled out, man. And that because he knows he loves this place. He knows his guys. He knows everybody's ins and outs and goods and bads. So you need that from a leader, and I think that there's no doubt that Tua is the leader on this team. We needed to back him up and give him that confidence. So I'm happy that shit is behind us. I'm really looking forward to this first preseason game next week, August 9th against Atlanta. And I think we have a joint practice with them early in the week before that too, to kind of get ready for that game. But it's going to be good to see like the competitiveness, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of spots up for grabs. right? Not only on the starter side, also on the secondary side. That third cornerback is going to be huge. Defensive line, we're going to be looking at all those guys to see what they have, and even tight end, right? We got to see something develop in that position because it's going to be something that we need in order to have this offense, kind of like not adjust, but like just continue to grow, right? We need to involve the tight end more. So there's a lot to look forward to. We're gonna break down a big portion of it when we do our in depth uh, Dolphins only episode, which is gonna be happening in the next couple of weeks. And Joel and I are looking forward to it because this is gonna be a big season for the Dolphins. Usually, bro, you know me, dog. I'm like more on the fence. I don't like to lean a certain way, but I really feel like this year is gonna be something different for the Dolphins. It really is. I don't know why, bro, but maybe it's the shirt that I'm wearing that's giving me the energy. But I really feel
Could
like
be,
it's gonna be
could
different,
be,
dog.
could be the fact that we do, YouTube show around the
Yeah,
Dolphins, and we
yeah,
kind of need it
yeah,
for views and,
yeah,
likes and
yeah.
clicks. By the way, also if you're watching this and you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff for your boys. Yeah, dog. Obviously, I know we're just getting started on the Dolphins talk. I'm really, the offense. Honestly, man, I saw one highlight already from training camp, and it was Tua dropping a dime to Tyreek just beautifully, and it just let me know like we're good. Offensively, I think we're fine. We got to figure out, like you said, the O line still needs some tweaking. That includes the tight end situation. But I'm really looking, at the defensive situation. And, we have a couple of guys coming back from injury. We got a lot of new guys in the secondary. We got some rookies in there, and not to mention a new defensive coordinator. So a lot of moving parts on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to be looking at that over the next couple of weeks here.
For sure, it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes, right, and to see how it turns out because it could make the season. It really could make the season, right? If these things come to fruition, the tight end gets more involved, we get more production out of that. The defensive scheme works even better than it did last year. Our guys stay healthier and fresh because we're able to rotate, and the depth is so good. That could obviously it's the main thing that would make a difference in the season, and I think that's that X factor, right? That the Dolphins are looking for, and if they can find it, sky's the limit for this team because the talent that's in it is just ridiculous, bro. It really is. We haven't seen a fucking talented team like this, bro, in ages, over and over again. Come on, man. Usually this team would have broken up by now, or like the quarterback would have got hurt, star player, something would have happened.
Yeah.
But this team continues
Would
to
have somebody would have
evolve
retired
and get
early and
better.
moved to Africa.
Yeah, man, that's a whole nother story. Don't try my
If you
dog,
know,
Ricky.
you know. If you know, you
Greatest,
know.
one of the greatest Dolphins
Greatest that
ever.
never was, man.
One of the greatest Dolphins ever. All right, don't try my dog. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you, bro. The men's Olympic basketball team has been I. Hopefully they get that gold. But those other countries have been fucking showing that they're not laying down for anybody, right?
Yeah, but now they got KD in the lineup because they know they needed
That boy's
KD in the
going
lineup.
off.
Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
dog. You don't play with bro. Is that you know what KD does? He has that Jordan shit, bro, where he talks
for
shit.
sure.
He doesn't
Yeah,
stay quiet. Like he doesn't just play ball. He's like shitting on them and then letting them know I'm shitting on you right now because you suck.
yeah,
And
and they
that
need
gets in
that.
people's head.
Yeah, they need that, bro. They need that swag, right?
Yeah.
They need that swag, and KD has that killer swag for sure, bro. But yeah, let's see what the U.S. men's team can do. Pull off that gold medal and bring it back home and not embarrass us.
Yeah.
Also in the Olympics, Simone Biles saw she won a gold medal today, which was awesome. Killing it, one of the oldest to ever do it. She's amazing. Her documentary on Netflix is amazing. And what else? UFC this weekend was pretty good. We saw Leon Edwards lose in 5 rounds to
Boring
Bilal.
fight, I heard.
Yeah, yeah. It went all 5 rounds, and
I
and
saw
Bilal
all the other
Bilal just
fights.
handled him. You know what I'm saying? He manhandled him, and that's why I got
I
boring
heard, I
because
heard. I that's the only fight that I didn't see. I saw the Aspinall fight, and I thought that
yeah,
was kind of whack. I thought that they called that way too early,
a little
and
too early.
I don't think Aspinall really proves anything. I saw a couple people were talking about like how he's like the undisputed, and he's already better than John Jones. Like, no, he's not, bro. Like he
Not
didn't
even
really do
close.
anything. Like that was not an impressive win. I'm sorry. And then the
At
Patty
all.
fight prior to that was a good fight. Patty
What a
gonna
badass.
get into the rankings now, and he's just gonna.
He
The kid's on his way. That kid has that star power.
he's one fight away from fighting for the championship, and when he gets that belt, I don't think he's gonna let it go because he really is a badass, bro. And he brings that excitement. He gets finishes, put the guy to sleep. King Green is not a joke, dog. That guy's a real legit badass in MMA and especially in the UFC.
Yeah.
And Patty just took him down in 1 minute, and it was over.
Yeah.
And this is a dude, dog, who's just doing unprecedented things in the UFC, and he's definitely going to be a champion for sure. I can
Yeah.
see it, man. I can see it.
Nah, and
But
he,
yeah,
he has the fans like him, bro. He has a really good personality and shit and presence in the octagon, for interviews and all that shit. So that's exactly what they love. So the more he wins and he does that, the more he's gonna get the attention.
for sure, for sure. No, it was dope,
Just
man.
real quick, the update on the medal count as of right now, Thursday night, 9 p.m. when we're recording this. USA has 9 gold medals, France
Let's
has
go.
8 gold medals, and China has 11 gold medals.
Eesh. China's
So
that diving,
we're
synchronized diving. I saw like 2 clips of that. I was like, yo, these people are robots. I don't know how people do that. That
we're
shit is
closing the
crazy to me.
gap. We're closing the gap though.
Little by
Japan
little.
also at 8, Australia at 8. So there's a couple of us, a couple of countries there in the mix.
We're coming for you. You heard?
You're coming out for you like that shooter from Turkey. I don't know if you saw that guy.
Yeah, man.
He had
That
his
guy
hand in
was
his
a
pocket
badass.
with like glasses on, just boom, got a silver medal.
Oh, you guys are using cool tricks, huh? That's this. Watch this. Poof.
Watch this.
Badass. What a
That's
badass
awesome.
turkey, man. Turkey's badass, bro. But that's it. That's all we got for you guys, except for one last thing, which means you gotta tell a friend
To tell a friend,
to tell another friend,
to tell everybody that they know.
to tell everybody they know that OnlyFans is coming soon. The Hurricanes are coming soon. Dolphin season is coming soon. Football is back, baby. It's time to get excited. Make sure you're hitting that like, comment, and subscribe button. More importantly, hit that notification button so you guys get notified when we drop the next one. Until next time, y'all. Peace.